Hello, this is WFRYE Lisa Fry, and you are here because you are learning to know more about thriving in chaos. The only way out is the way through. So, this is episode 1. We are talking today about how to get through the loss of a spouse. Now, I can only tell you that I've lost my husband 3.5 years ago, and what are some of the things that I've done to get through that. I sound okay today, and I am a lot better today, but 3.5 years ago, it wasn't anything of the sort. So I would like to share with you some of the things that I personally did, so that maybe, I know we're all different, but I would imagine that if you did take on what I'm going to share with you in your own life, that it might help you. And I think it's really going to be great advice today. So number 1 is that after my husband died, it was unexpectedly, and I had no idea about anything. My brain was like a 2-year-old. I had no idea what the people around me were saying. My family came around me and they supported me and my children, and somebody set up a GoFundMe, and somehow or another I had a choice laying down in the bed. Every morning I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was definitely one of those people that said, I don't want to get up, but I knew that if I didn't get up, I was not going to be pushing through. Okay. The only way out is the way through. I wasn't going to do that. And I knew that, oh my gosh, like if I get out of bed, how am I going to know what to do? I'm by myself. I have to take care of this house, 2 cars, 3 kids, 1 pet, and all this property. And I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't know what kind of money we owned. I didn't know what bank accounts we had. I didn't know anything. My husband took care of all of that while I took care of everything else under the sun. So I had to learn. And I remember, for example, just picking up something up out of the backyard. And I just remember crying and walking with it and saying, I have to throw this away. And I was just crying and saying, how am I going to do this? I didn't know how to do anything my husband did. So the point is that slowly, every day, and I found that person in my life, and hopefully you have a person in your life like this, that I would call while I was laying in my bed, and I would just say, I need help. I don't know how to do this, and I'm scared. I was so afraid. I would use the example of I would fall. It felt like I was going to fall into like a million marbles all over the floor and just scatter. I that's just how I felt. I felt like just so incredibly scared, and as well as grieving and being sad, right? So I would just drop to the floor. When they say weak in the knees, that's not a joke. That's a real life thing. No matter where I was, I'd be at the Social Security office. I'd be at City Hall. No matter where I was outside. No matter where I was, all of a sudden I'd get weak in the knee. I would fall to the ground, and I would just lay on the ground wailing my brains out as though I had zero control over what was happening to my body. And it was true. So I called that person in my life. It happened to be our best man at our wedding, and I chose him because I would be the scared human being that curled under the blankets and just being like, Bobby, I don't know what to do. And by the time I was done talking to him, I felt like I was literally, I'd get out of the bed while he was on the phone. And at the end of the conversation, I felt like I was Wonder Woman standing on top of the highest mountain. And my hands were on my hips, and you could picture it, right? The wind is blowing my cape and my hair, and I was ready. I was ready to go and attack this whole thing. But you have to work it out. You have to process it, right? So that was one of the things I did to find my way out. And also, I had all these people coming up, my friends, my family, and here I was trying to press through with all these different projects in my house because I knew I had to get through it all. And I just wanted to just do it all now. If I could just do all these, I wanted to make my house a fortress. So for instance, I'm just telling you this because you might not have these same things, but my house was falling apart. So I wanted to hurry up and get as many things as I could accomplished with that GoFundMe money, any savings that we had. I would find all the different construction workers for really great price. I don't even know how. It was definitely a coping mechanism to staying busy. And that's another thing. You must stay busy, right? So putting all these projects together and getting everything done all at one time. I had people in my life were saying, Lisa, that's too fast. Just take it easy. Just focus on your children. I said to my kids, even my kids were saying, you know what, Mama, I feel like we don't even have a mother now because you're so busy. And I looked at them and I said, you know what? You just give me a year and this place is going to be all done and then we'll be able to relax. And that was a mission I had because I knew that if I waited and I just did things slowly, we'd be here for years. And I didn't want that. So I was just asking them to hang on. Just, I'm right here. I didn't go anywhere. I was just right here. And I just had to press through everything. So that was a coping mechanism, is staying busy. So having a really good person to talk to that's going to build you up, not tearing you down at all, going along with the goals that you knew were good for you. And also talking to, I got together with a social worker because I had to sit down with her and I said, I'm not looking for medication. I just need to make sense of what I'm doing. From your professional opinion, do you think that what I have in my mind is okay? Is it healthy? Because I have people in my life that are saying I'm going too fast, I'm doing too much. What do you think? And you know what she said? She actually said, Lisa, I think you're doing the right thing. I was like, no way. I felt so empowered. I needed that professional opinion because all these other voices, and not everybody was telling me that, but there were people in my life. So I just went with what I knew was going to make me in my life satisfied after the loss of my husband. And so working on all of this, and setting up a will and setting up all the little odds and ends and putting all the ducks in a row. I would not rest. It took me a full 2 years to get everything. I got one lawyer and then I found out that he was a chump. And then I had to get another lawyer. And yeah, it cost money, but it's money that I had at the time. And I make sure that every single thing with my children, I just kept thinking, oh my gosh, my husband just dropped dead to the ground. That could happen. What if that happens to me? Just to say, my children, I have to put a safety net around them. I have to make sure that everything's all set for them, that they don't have to worry. I put a will together. Who's going to be in charge of my kids? Who's going to be in charge of helping them financially to distribute everything among them, that what I have and all the goods that I have, So I just had to put everything in order. So these are steps that I'm telling you are really vital that helped me when my spouse died. Okay, I can't even believe I'm saying that still. See, so I still got things that I'm, excuse me, working on. And it just takes time. And I know that it is definitely a process. And so it is good to talk professionally. And one of the main things that I did was I would have all my construction workers around. One guy would be upstairs, one is in the backyard, one's in the front, one's working on siding. Seriously. And all you hear was the hammering. And so I literally would say, okay, I'll be back. And I would go either for a 2-hour walk. And even after that, I definitely every day, I'm talking for years. And no, it sounds crazy, right? But for that amount of time, I went and sat at the Catholic Church when nobody was in there, right before that gold box, which is called a tabernacle. And that's where Jesus is housed. So I sat there for 2 hours daily, every day. I needed to. So these were and I needed to talk to him, and I needed just, whether I was just talking, whether I was just writing, both, whatever it was that I had to do, I had to do it. So these are some of the things, and I'll continue to discuss, the different processes that I took, the different avenues that I personally took, and I hope that it really helps you out. And I just want to say, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. And I pray that for you, that if you're struggling, if you're scared and you're still sad, whatever it is you're going through over the loss of your spouse, and I would imagine maybe it's a child you lost, anybody who you love. I can only speak right now as far as my spouse, and I pray that for you, that you can find peace, because it was really peace. Peace is so vital on this planet. Peace is exactly what we need, and courage. Peace and courage to press through. It's not easy, when you don't know where to turn, what to do, how to get that peace. But you know what I found out? All you have to do is ask. Yep, you just say, Lord, I need peace. Please bring me your peace. And he will give you all the peace that surpasses all understanding, which is from him. So God bless you. Again, this is Lisa Fry at WFRYE. The only way out is the way through, and that's how we thrive in chaos. God bless you all. Bye-bye.